When I was leaving ISRO and joining IISc Bangalore for my, so that's why guide matters the most than the institution. AI is now the future. All product companies, data companies are working on machine learning.
Hi everyone, and welcome again into Brute Force. I am Tathagata, and today we have with us Kishalay, and he is a GATE veteran. He is ISc alumni and right now pursuing PhD in IIT Kharagpur. So why don't the rest of the things you tell us yourself, Kishalay?
Okay. Thanks, Tathagata. Thank you for inviting me in your podcast. So, as Tathagata mentioned, my name is Kishalay Das. I'm currently a third year PhD student at IIT Kharagpur. And previously, I have done my MTech from ISC Bangalore CSA department. And before that, I have worked in some private companies like TCS, Accenture, and I spent around 13 months in Indian Space Research Organization also.
Very nice. So you are right now pursuing your PhD in IIT Kharagpur. So what is your field of work and what are the topics you are expertise in? Can you just briefly tell us?
Yeah, so my kind of research interest is in machine learning in graph. To be specific, I work on material graph. So it's a
Hmm.
3D kind of graph where we have atoms. It has different atom types and coordinates, and we model different machine learning algorithms which is
Hmm.
related to graph machine learning on these kind of 3D graphs,
Hmm.
where we try to do some kind of downstream task like prediction of different properties,
Hmm.
or maybe recent times stable diffusions and diffusion models has gained a lot of interest. So what we do is that we train model on many stable materials and try to generate new materials. So overall, it's on graph machine learning on materials on
Hmm.
different kind of downstream tasks.
I see. So let me tell the viewers that I have been knowing Kisholada for quite a long time because so I work in AI only, and he's like one of the people in AI field knows him that he has been working in this field. He was from ISC previously, so that's how I got in touch with him, and I've been talking to him, taking his guidance for a long time. And also, I was having a lot of questions on LinkedIn that how to pursue get a good career through PhD in India, specifically to work in AI. There are a lot of questions, a lot of doubts on LinkedIn that I've been having, and I thought that perhaps he's the best person to answer those questions. So let's just start with that. But first of all, that was insightful knowing about your journey. So let me ask you this: that so how did you choose the path of PhD? Basically, a lot of things, pursuing computer science has a very lucrative side of industry oriented
Right.
jobs. Yeah, so a lot of times students also get confused which path to choose, even if they have interest in research. Sometimes they get like really confused. This lucrative offers are there, other projects, other a lot of computer science growing field these days. So how did you choose your path specifically that you want to do this thing?
Yeah, so actually it's a long process. I mean, as I said, that I worked for private companies for quite long time, and then I decided to go for GATE. And then also I spent around 13 months or 15 months in Indian Space Research Organization ISRO. So my
Mm.
main motivation of joining ISRO was that I will be getting some flavor of research there, but unfortunately I didn't get it and I have to quit ISRO.
Mm.
So when I was leaving ISRO and joining IISc Bangalore for my MTech, that time only I was thinking about doing research, but I was not sure about it because I didn't have any prior experience that what is research, how it is being done. And back in 2017-18, we don't have these kind of YouTube channels also where I will be
Yeah,
getting some information about research,
yeah.
like. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a completely new, I mean, completely different world that time. So when I
Mm.
was joining IISc Bangalore in 2018, so I was kind of open-minded that I'll be giving my 100% doing research
Mm.
during my MTech project, and if it works, then I'll be going for research or PhD, and if it didn't work, maybe I'll go for some job. Then when I joined ISC Bangalore, luckily I got a very good lab there, and I didn't go for any summer internship. From the very when my second semester ends, so from then only I started working with one of my senior PhD member there, and I started working on a research problem. So that time graph neural network, graph convolution neural network had just come up in
Mm-hmm.
2017, and we started working on hypergraphs. So
Mm-hmm.
then I started working. I started knowing that what is the process, how to read research paper, how to find out. problem statement, though it was
Yeah.
defined, but how to find out a proper solution for that particular
So like
problem.
the initial
Right.
flavors of research input.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the difficult part actually. I mean, how to
Yeah.
read research paper, how to
Yeah.
find the problem,
To get accustomed with the
how to
research
get,
environment is
yes,
the
yes, yes,
first.
yes, yes, how to
Yeah.
get a solution which is novel. I mean, you
Mm.
can find out any solution, but maybe that's not, that may be a very simple one which won't be
Mm.
accepted in conferences. So
Yeah.
that process was going on. So like the third semester went like this way, and we submit the paper in a top conference, I would say. It's PAKDD, so where we submitted the paper and got rejected. Then the whole fourth year, actually, we keep on submitting in different conferences. We are getting the rejection. So I think I remember it got rejected in four conferences, and in fifth one it got accepted. So that whole year, I mean, the second year of my MTech at
Uh-huh.
ISC, it was completely dedicated in this process. So the whole process, I have seen that only thing, I was not writing the paper. Apart from that,
Mm.
everything I was doing, all the experiments, all kind of hyperparameter tuning and all, everything related to machine learning I was doing. And by the end of the second year of my
Year.
MTech, I was actually liking the process. I was enjoying the process, though that paper got accepted in a middle tier conference, but the
Mm.
process I was liking. And the second important thing was I was liking this graph machine learning thing. So
Mm.
then I decided that let's continue this one. So I talked with my professor there. So he was retiring from IISc Bangalore, but he told me that IIT Kharagpur, there is one professor who is working in similar domain, so you can talk with him. So that's how it happened actually. And COVID has started. I was at home, so I
Mm.
just went. I mean, I am from Kharagpur, so I went to IIT Kharagpur, talk to the professor, and that's how my journey started in PhD.
Yeah. So basically, then IISc shaped your path in this field, like to pursue
Yeah.
research
I
in
mean, I
further at.
owe a lot to IISc
Mm.
for you know building my this mindset of doing research.
Mm. Actually, some of my friends are also over there, so they also tell me that that research environment is really very nice there. And if you are interested in research, you will have that kind of benefit, that help, assistance in that to shape up your career ahead. And one more thing
I mean,
is that,
research environment actually depends on the lab you are working. It's
exactly.
not actually an
Uh,
institute specific. If you're getting a
Absolutely.
good lab, as I mentioned, I'm very lucky that I got that lab.
Hmm.
So yeah, because all of my peer members, they are also doing research in CSA department in that particular lab. So that actually helped me a lot.
Nice. And yeah, some other questions, a very popular question about PhD that I usually have is that they ask me how to choose the right place or right institute, right professor. These questions are there. So I'm not definitely not the right person to answer this, but from my ideas, I always keep telling them that, for PhD, it's not the right way is not choosing the right institute. You have to choose the right project or right professor where you want to work on. And from
Right.
your yeah, last thing that you told me that your professor suggested you some other project that is going on in IIT Kharagpur. So, can you just briefly
Yeah.
tell us that?
If this yeah. So this also, it's a very important question that, well, institute doesn't matter that much. Your guide matters more. That doesn't mean that you will choose a very below institution. So obviously,
Yeah.
if you have to choose among top five IITs and ISC, institute wise they are almost equivalent. If you're choosing the right guide, suppose you are working
Yeah.
want to work in computer vision, then you have to find out a lab which is doing good research in computer vision, or a particular professor who is doing good research in computer vision. In that case, suppose you are getting that professor from IIT Kanpur or IIT Madras, not from IISc Bangalore, that doesn't matter. I mean, all of these IITs, they are almost equivalent. If you are doing your research from a very good lab, and if you are coming out during your PhD with some good quality paper in some top tier annual conferences, or whichever area you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why guide matters the most than the institutions. Obviously, I'm not saying you go to any lower tier IITs and find the guide. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the case.
Yeah.
Obviously, there has to be a threshold that
Yeah.
these are the institutes
Mm.
that are good enough. Now I have to find a good guide.
Exactly. So you also have to find that interest in the projects that are going on so that you can put in your efforts in.
Yeah, interest is something that is really important, and this I
Yeah.
keep on telling students and who want to do PhD. You have to be very much sure that you want to do PhD. If you are not
Mm-hmm.
interested to a particular problem, you won't able to give enough effort to that particular problem to solve it.
Exactly.
Because most of the time, I used to make this joke to many of my friends that I am now a third year student, so there are three
Mm-hmm.
papers I have. So that means among these third 3 years, I was just happy for 3 days. Apart from that, all the other days, I was doing some experiments which is not working.
Mm.
Even before this interview, also I was running
Mm.
an experiment which is not giving good results. So this is constant throughout PhD.
Mm.
So you have to keep on thinking that how to improve that result. There
Mm.
will be a lot of rejections coming up, and also
Yeah.
that's why the only thing that is there that will keep on motivating you or pushing you is your interest and love for the work. If you're not interested to a particular topic or particular project, probably you will suffer a lot during these 5 years of your PhD journey.
Also, like unlike MTech, PhD is like a marathon. So you have to like it's not just about the effort, but keep giving the effort for a long time. So
Yeah,
that is why I
MTech is
think,
like, if you, even if you don't want to work, there is a liberty. I mean, if you feel that I won't be working,
yeah.
I'll just take this MTech project lightly. I'll do some minimal work. You'll eventually
Hmm.
graduate because it's a time bounded program.
But
PhD is not a time bounded program.
even if you have to work hard, but it's a very small amount of time. You can like somehow push yourself and go through that 6, 8 or months or whatever there is. But for PhD, it's not the case. You have to like be passionate about your work, definitely.
Hmm.
Okay, so
And also
apart,
one thing I have seen, yeah, just want
go
to
on.
add one more thing. One thing I just to add, from MTech actually these professors also don't expect much. But for
Hmm.
PhD, from PhD, most of the professors they expect that you will be doing some good quality of
Yeah,
research. So
yeah,
that
definitely.
pressure is also there only. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so apart from work related things like about PhD things, so can you just briefly compare how was your MTech life in IISc? So you have pursued MTech and PhD, both of the degree, pursuing both of the degrees in top tier institute, like one of the best institutes in India. So how are lives there comparing your MTech life, your PhD life, comparing all the things, like how was the workload and how much time you get for yourself, how the lives are in these two situations. So can you compare that?
Yeah, so MTech was more about doing courses actually. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
first year, even till the third semester,
Mm-hmm.
I think in IISc we have around 10 courses, and I actually distributed in 4 semesters. So there are
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 2, 1. This is how I distributed. So till my third semester, there was a huge pressure of doing courses, and course pressure in IISc Bangalore is insane. I mean, there are a lot of workload is there. In the first year it was complete mess. I mean, I am not getting enough time to spend in other things. I mean, most of the time I was giving to different assignments that was given to us.
Mm-hmm.
In the third semester it was a bit lighter. In the fourth semester it was completely, I mean, there was no such pressure was there. Overall in IISc Bangalore, the life was not that much dynamic that time. I mean, IISc Bangalore is kind of an environment which is a very classic environment. Not much of, like this
Fun
fest and
loving
all
or
is
the
going on nowadays.
uh,
Though, yeah, nowadays it has changed a lot. I can see from different friends post. But that time, it was completely calm environment. People are doing just research, so kind of classical environment happening. Now coming back to IIT Kharagpur, when I joined and when I was doing my courses in the first 2 semesters, because I have done my MTech from IISc Bangalore and that much pressure I have already, tolerated. So the coursework in IIT Kharagpur, I personally feel a bit lighter than what I did in IISc Bangalore. So I mean, getting a grade is much easier in IIT Kharagpur than IISc Bangalore. So that was my first 2 semesters. Apart from that, nowadays, it's a kind of balanced thing. I mean, I used to work for 5 days. I mean, the 5 weekdays. I have a flexibility. I mean, whenever I want to work, I can work, and whenever I don't want to work, I don't want to work. There are some other administrative work also and academic work also I have to do. Like, as I'm a PMRF Fellow, I have to take some TSC. I am a TA from of my guides course, so there also I have to spend some time of,
mm,
preparing the
yeah.
slides, checking
Mm,
copies, and also those things I
mm,
have to do. I am a YouTuber, so I have to plan for that also.
yeah.
So those things are also happening. So yeah, it's a balanced things now. I mean, now the pressure is not that much because typically we take 6 months to complete a project and publish a paper, so we know what to do and all. But yeah, initially it was a bit tough because you have to do some courses and all. But overall, I would say that compared to IISc Bangalore, IIT Kharagpur pressure was less. But yeah, overall, IIT Kharagpur life is much more dynamic. Lot of things are happening every day in IIT Kharagpur. BTech people are there. They are doing
Mhm.
something happening in every month. Some fairs, some
Some
technical
activities are
things,
going on
something
always,
happening
and
every
yeah,
month. Lot of activities. I mean,
uh,
lot of activities is going on
pretty. I
every
think I
month
guess
in
pretty much
IIT Kharagpur.
same for all the IITs. Same here also. Like things are
All the
going on
IITs,
every
yeah,
time.
because BTech, BTech always add those
Yeah.
spices in your life.
Yes, exactly.
ISC Bangalore, there are very less. I mean, there is no BTech student. There are few BSc students, but
Mm.
they are also kind of similar kind
Pretty
of
hard to say, but
people who
people
are
do tell me that
into
masters
research.
and yeah, PG people are kind of boring. Some people tell me, but anyways, I can't help it. So,
Yeah,
but
this might happen. Yeah.
yeah. So what about the campus life? Like IIT Kharagpur campus. So I haven't never been to IIT Kharagpur, but I know it's pretty. So in IIT Bombay is like it's 500 acres. That is like 2200.
Mm.
So I've never been there, but I want that estimate from you how big it is. So how is the
It's
campus life
it's
or
it's insanely big. I mean, ISC Bangalore, I can cover it in one hour of walking.
hmm.
IIT Kharagpur, I never
I've been
think
to
of
ISC
covering
a number
everything.
of times. I've been to ISC 2, 3 times, so I know
Yeah,
ISC.
ISC,
But
it's easy to
uh-huh,
cover.
uh,
I haven't I have been in IIT Bombay also one time, but I haven't covered the whole campus because I was there
but
for a RE
nearly
interview.
will be
But
same. Uh,
yeah, but IIT Kharagpur, it's not possible to cover everything. There are a lot of things is there, but I am not even interested to cover everything. There are few
hmm.
places which is very popular, like there is a helipad that is there. There are few historical places is there that you can cover, but it's impossible to cover the whole campus. It's insanely big.
So
I
way too
think
big.
almost half of the Kharagpur is IIT Kharagpur. So, so I am not even thinking. Yeah, but overall, campus life is almost similar. I mean, and IISc Bangalore campus was also calm and all these things. IIT Kharagpur is also kind of similar. I mean, if you
Hmm.
enter in the campus, it's completely different world than the outside world.
Hmm.
So yeah, campus was thing, but I have my personal bias for IISc Bangalore, so I always prefer to be in IISc Bangalore than IIT Kharagpur. I mean, as a person to visit the campus,
Once I see and always remains same. Yeah.
always an IISc, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming back to some more serious things that so you are working in AI research, in one of the most prominent fields, and definitely computer science has a lot growing on in AI field a lot recently. And with the advent of ChatGPT, it is now going into every home that everyone being awakened suddenly that okay, so AI is booming right now. And yeah, but anyways, we know that it has been growing for quite a long time and one of the most prominent fields that even for the future. And you are being in the forefront working in one of the important research projects. What do you think is the global impact, like how prospectful it will be in future?
Yeah, I personally think, I mean, AI is now the future. I mean, not only ChatGPT is probably the something which has created a lot of hype, but other areas of machine learning also, like, computer vision, if you take stable diffusion,
Mm-hmm.
recently OpenAI has released Sora. Sora is
Sora,
a,
that was amazing.
generating
I
videos. That
Yeah.
was amazing. I don't know. I mean, Sora
Have you
can
seen that?
generate a movie, I think.
Have you seen that
I
one
mean,
particular
it's,
prompt where the ship was moving in a cup of coffee? Have you seen that
no,
one?
I haven't seen that, but I mean, I have seen few of the videos. It's really good. I mean, that was the thing. I mean, diffusion models are doing great things of generating new
Amazing. Yeah.
images.
Mhm.
Obviously, there are a lot of biases and all is there, but it's doing so in many areas actually. Like, I work in the
Definitely. I
material,
was telling
as I
that,
said,
uh,
it's an inter this.
uh, no, go on. I was saying
Yeah,
that
tell me.
ChatGPT has
Yeah,
suddenly brought it into everyone's attention. So people who are not even
right,
related to
right, right.
computer science.
ChatGPT,
Yeah.
yes. ChatGPT has done the marketing part. I mean, everybody has.
Yeah.
It's easy to use also ChatGPT.
Uh-huh.
So that's why many people are using it, and that's why it got a lot of hype and all of things. But machine learning is now everywhere. I mean,
Mm,
if you see, there are physics related problems being solved by machine
mm,
learning. I personally work on material which is related to chemistry, that is being solved by machine learning, drug design, protein design. So in
mm,
almost all of the discipline of science and technology, machine learning has took over, and there is the actually scope. I mean,
yeah.
um, if you do some sort of expertise in different technologies of machine learning, not only LLMs, I mean, computer vision like stable diffusion, graph neural network, and a lot of other things, then you have a good chance of getting into good product based companies, because nowadays almost all product based companies, startup companies, are working on machine learning in AI.
Mm,
And I can't see any change in this trend for next 5 to 10 years at least.
mhm.
So AI will be there for some times, and we have to accustom with it, and we have to somehow build that skill set on top of that.
And what do you think about the opportunities available for AI research in India?
AI researcher in India, after MTech, I don't think much of researchers role as such you will be getting. After
Mm,
MTech, mostly what you get is a kind of applied scientist or data
mm,
scientist role, which is kind of a developer role on machine learning, what I
yeah,
understand, because
it
as
is
far as
nearly the
I
same actually.
interacted,
Like
yeah,
I
as
got
far as
the
I have
role as an
interacted,
I got the role as an AI
yeah,
engineer. So the job is really that much
yeah,
that
this role
you are
name, yeah,
developing in
role
AI.
name can vary.
Uh,
Yeah, role name can vary from company to company,
mm,
but the main role is that there is a problem. There are few papers maybe available. You have to implement that paper on that particular problem on the data set for that particular company. This is the bottom line. Now, if you want to work into the research kind of role, that means like research scientist in Microsoft Research India or Google Research India. Then there are two ways. There are few temporary role like research assistant or pre-doc role that is available after MTech, but those are not
mm,
permanent role; they are temporary role. The target is that after that role, you'll be converting into some PhD in some university, or maybe if you complete your PhD, then you can join these research lab like Microsoft Research India or Google Research India, to some extent IBM Research India. So these are the three prominent
I think
research lab
Adobe
that is
also
there
does pretty
in
good AI research.
yeah, Adobe, I forgot to mention Adobe is doing
Uh,
great research nowadays. So these kind of few research lab is there where you can join and you can work as a research engineer. So typically I have seen that people are joining, I mean, from my labs also people have just graduated and one of them have joined Microsoft Research India. So these are the
mhm.
labs that you can join, and apart from that obviously you can come to academia and do your research. So that option is always open. Like you can do a postdoc from some foreign university and then come back and join some IITs or NITs, and then you can continue your research. I mean, that is always available.
Mm.
So yeah, these are the two main paths that is there after you complete your PhD from India.
Definitely. So, as I was also working in AI field, so I'm seeing that kind of people in my lab. Also, some PhD students are there who are working greatly. And as you know, NLP is one of the booming fields of AI. So, a lot of contribution comes from our lab, and I see people
Right,
uh, bringing that change into the picture. Also, like
right.
I don't know about other fields of research in India right now, but I think AI research, even from academia, AI research is at a very good stage globally, if we talk about. So a lot of
Yes. That also, that's something I also agree. I mean, picture has changed a lot since last 5 years. I mean, from India, there are quite a lot of papers are going to international conferences.
yeah,
The contributions are there from all the IITs. I mean, not a single IIT. I mean, all the top IITs, even middle tier
mm,
IITs like IIT Hyderabad, IIT Patna is coming up. Triple IIT Hyderabad, they
definitely,
got a
yeah,
best student author paper in Triple I this time. So it's coming up. I mean, it's
mm,
the progress is
yes,
slow, I
yes,
understand.
exactly.
The community is small, but people are doing well.
Yeah, so those were mostly the questions that we had right now for you, and it was an amazing conversation. Some key points like about AI research, what are the fields, how to choose a good professor for your PhD. So, and definitely we both agree that AI is one of the most booming fields, and this is something you should consider for your future ahead. Yeah. So, thank you for coming here and talking to
Yeah,
me and letting this audience know about your journey. Thanks a lot.
yeah. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Also talk about it. I generally don't
It's
get
not nothing
much
actually for it's
opportunity.
not anything formal because I have been knowing him
Yeah,
and following him for quite a long time, and it's nothing formal for me to talk to him, and that's why I'm just
yeah.
referring to
And
him
I
as
personally also feel that people should come more into research. Because I have posted it into LinkedIn also. For last 10 years, we have changed a paradigm shift. I mean, 10 years before, so when I graduated my BTech, so there was very less people used to appear for GATE. And nowadays, you see, 91 is the CSE topper last day.
yeah, yeah,
70, I think 80 got ranked 21. When I appeared in GATE, 80 was topper. So the paradigm has shifted. Many people are appearing for GATE, and I think for the next 10 years, the target or my wish is that many people comes into research and AI
yeah,
research. So that's good for our country actually.
definitely, definitely. I also hope that that happens because I have a innate passion about AI too. So with that note, we would like to end this conversation today, and thanks a lot for
Yeah.
coming here, and thanks a lot everyone who have watched till the end. I hope you are coming back home or just going to bed with a lot of insights, a lot of information and motivation for future. And see you next time.